Welcome to Screen to Speed Drivers Edition, where we sit down and talk with the women participating in the Screen to Speed competition. So, what exactly is Screen to Speed? Well, Screen to Speed is an all-women sim racing competition developed for women by women that seeks to create a pipeline to bring more women into motorsports from sim racing. So, how does it work, you might ask? It's simple. The competition is open to all women worldwide. First, you have to meet the qualifier, where it's not just your skills on the sim track, but how you engage your community that will determine your overall rank. From there, the top 20 women from the online racing qualifier will go to Las Vegas to compete in the IRL competition during the Pennzoil 400 event. The winner of this event will have the opportunity to seat in a Kelly Moss Porsche race car and a chance to show off her skill in real life. Drivers also have the opportunity to win $15,000 in a next level sim racing rig. So without any further ado, let's bring on our guest today, Ruby Acosta. Hey Ruby, how's it going?
Hello, I'm doing all right.
That's great. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for just taking out the opportunity and the time to sit with me today and have a conversation about your experience in sim racing and your experience in Screen to Speed. So before we begin, I always love to ask our guests, where in the world is Ruby Acosta?
I am currently living in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. I've been living here for all of my life.
Nice. And so with that being said, what got you into sim racing?
Well, I've always been into race cars as a kid. I remember as a small child, my family would put on the Speed Channel to stop me from crying or stop me from being all really like obnoxious, I guess. And I remember the first video game I got on my PlayStation 2 was Gran Turismo 3,
Wow.
and it just sort of it just sort of like had a domino effect, I suppose. And then I got into PC sim racing with iRacing in 2015,
Okay.
and I sort of delved into all sorts of sims. And now I'm doing Assetto Corsa Competizione and, of course, Screen to Speed with iRacing now.
Nice. We're definitely going to touch on like ACC is one of my favorite sims to play in, so I'm definitely going to talk about that later. But real quick, I would love for you to share a little more about who you are as a racer, some of the things that you've um, done. I do know because I've watched the pre-interview, but you have come a very long way in a very short time. And so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, actually, I have only really started competitively sim racing actually just a year ago, actually, in January 2022.
Wow.
Uh, I was sort of we started Queen Design with another pro esports racer named Enora Rose. She is a SRO esports champion, and she made Queen Design with the idea to bring more awareness to LGBTQ racers in the community, and sort of bring a lot of potential racers out that are sort of a lot like us, and bring a more sort of a welcoming community. So I started with Queen Design in January, and it sort of just happened. I sort of got I was coached a lot throughout 2022, and we've already achieved a lot throughout. Like last year, we are in the VCO Flex Stream competition. We are among some of the top teams, such as Williams Esports, BS Competition, uh, Unicorns of Love, and and yeah, like I've it's been a whirlwind, and I would have never guessed I would have been here a year ago.
Yeah.
With just how much I've learned throughout the way, and it's all thanks to Honor Rose, Mia Rose, and the rest of Queen's Design.
Nice. Now I have to ask, how do you think you got so great? Um, yeah, in 1 year's time.
I wouldn't say I'm so great, to be honest. I'm still sort of there. I still consider myself a sort of amateur sim racer, to be honest. But
Okay.
a lot of the help from the community, a lot of the help from Honor. She's a really talented racer. She's a really talented driver, and she shares so much insight. And a lot of the sort of strides that I've made personally with my mental health and also with the support I've gotten from other women and other LGBTQ drivers and
Hmm.
community members around the sim racing world, like that's really been driving me, and that's really been helping me on this journey to become a true pro. And hopefully one day I can really show that I have the skill to compete with the top sim racers one day, and maybe with the top real life racers one day too. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful story. I mean, and it looks like you have quite the journey ahead of you in terms of, what it is that you want to accomplish, but it sounds to me like you're well on your way. So that's pretty cool. Let's get into some screen to speed, shall we? What got you
Yes.
interested in screen to speed?
Yeah, I've heard of it through a few friends of mine. Actually, I've heard of it through Twitter, Instagram, and I saw it sort of being promoted, and I was like, well, I want to sort of give it a shot. If even if I don't want to have I have myself out there, and it's a sort of cause that I align my own ideals with. I do want to see more women in racing in general, and I do want to see more women in sim racing. Like have them have their own chance. Like have them feel like they have a chance at this, and have them feel like they belong, because they
Hmm.
really do belong. And with the current landscape of sim racing, a lot of it is sort of like male dominant, male oriented. And the thing is that the barrier of entry to sim racing is not as high as real life motorsports. So
Yeah.
there's one thing that's only really stopping women from getting, and it's really just the amount of people, the awareness, and just the sort of like how intimidating it is to be surrounded by such a sort of really like intimidating and sort of sometimes toxic community. So I feel like I feel like having competitions like this, or even just promotions, will really, really help a lot of women sort of feel like they have a chance and feel like they belong in a community where I feel really passionate about.
I definitely agree with you there. I think that this competition and just this series is really bringing to light a lot of amazing people I've met just from doing these interviews. A lot of amazing women who are really good, and you are one of them. I know you're gonna try to be humble, but you are currently in the set in seventh place, right? What's your secret on this track, and what do you think about this track?
My secret is really just I sort of just feel. I don't memorize any of the turns or anything. I just sort of feel, and I sort of just let the flow take me around. It sort of sounds strange, but I don't really do racing in terms of like sort of a sort of methodical approach.
Hmm.
I sort of just let my mind sort of trail around and let myself find a path and find the quickest way around. And I don't really memorize it. I just sort of feel it around. And it's very because I can't really do memorization well. I don't really memorize, okay, where's my breaking point? I just sort of do sort of by what's going to take me to the next turn with the most momentum. And yeah, this track's very tight. Has very small little room for error, and it's very short, so every sort of millisecond counts. So I think the secret to this track is sort of being consistent and sort of watching your own sort of pace as well, not pushing too much, and being sure to sort of rein yourself in and not go so hard.
Yeah, well, I will say this. It sounds to me, just from your description, that you're a natural when it comes to driving. You're just feeling your way through and, not knowing necessarily where the breakpoints are, but actually knowing where they are. So that's pretty cool. Um, so, okay, here you are, you're in this competition. You are, currently in seventh. We're taking the top 20 drivers. So it looks pretty promising for you. How does it feel to possibly be headed to Vegas? I mean, I know you're in Los Angeles, so I'm sure you've probably been hundreds of times, or maybe not. But like, yeah, how does it feel to possibly going to Vegas and checking out, an actual NASCAR event as well as participating in an in-person real live event?
Yeah, I've been to Las Vegas for a few times. You are right about that. Yeah, yeah. But for this location, it's quite special because I've never been to Las Vegas. I've never been to the Speedway. I have been to Auto Club, but I've never been to Las Vegas. That's the only NASCAR track um, that I've been to, Auto Club. So it is
Okay.
going to be a new experience for me, and like I feel like the occasion is a lot different. So I feel like I'm more nervous than anything. I feel
Okay.
more nervous, and it's definitely way different. But like the idea of going to Las Vegas and meeting all, potentially meeting everybody in this competition, like really excites me, and it drives me to do even better. And like, yeah, but really, I'm not really, I'm not really going with any hypotheticals. If I go, like, I'm gonna keep pushing and making sure that I make it, not if I do, like, but when
Yes.
I do. And like, I'm going to keep working and not really think about what if and until the time comes.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, that's the right mindset to have, right? You don't want to win before you actually win. So that's cool. So let's say you do get there and um, you do get the chance to actually drive in a real racing car. Like, what is that experience going to be like for you? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Uh, I'm nervous, to be honest. I mean, I have driven. I mean, I drive in real life. Obviously, I have a car in real life. I've done
Yes,
karting
Los
sometimes.
Angeles, you probably have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. I've done indoor karting, but to drive a real race car, potentially, um, yeah, I can't lie. I'm really nervous. I mean, I'm not really as excited as people think I would be. Like, I'm more so like I don't want to do anything wrong. I don't want to mess anything up. I want to just make sure I get everything down. And like, if it happens, like, I'm just gonna listen to whoever is teaching me. Like, because I want to start from the ground up, and But it is exciting though, and
Yeah,
like I think that's gonna be a memory that's gonna stick with me forever.
I yes, I agree with that too. And to that point, like it's really cool, right? That you get this opportunity to go from the digital world to in real life and racing on an actual track, and not there's not too many opportunities out there for something like that. And I think it's really cool too that you have like these organizations like Pennzoil and Ford and in Esports who have really got behind this competition and really support this movement of getting more women to racing. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty huge. I mean, there's a ton of, a lot of brands in esports these days, but none of them really sort of support women in esports directly, like
Mhm.
as directly as, these companies are doing. So I'm really grateful for that. And I hope that one day, like, a lot more companies and a lot more brands, especially a lot of motorsports or racing, or even just automotive brands in general, like, really put their full force into this, because like we really need it. Like, that's it, and we really need the help. And I feel like it's just such a missed opportunity that, like, finally, like, that Ford and Penzo they're doing to, like,
Mhm.
finally give us the chance to shine. Like, there's so many women excited for this, and I can't, I don't really have words. Like, it's really, I mean, all I can say is I hope a lot more. I hope a lot more sort of things like this happen.
Yeah, yeah. So outside of winning, because racing is all about winning, but outside of winning, what is it that you hope to walk away with or get out of the Screen to Speed experience?
Honestly, it's just to really get the message across. Like, that's really what I've been doing with Queen's Design, because for us, like, obviously as an esports team, results are very important, but the main message we want to bring out is to hopefully get more women, get more sort of like get more sexual minorities, like gender sexual minorities, into sim racing, make
Mhm.
them feel sort of comfortable participating in this, make them feel more welcome, and make them feel like they have the chance to sort of compete against the top drivers, because there's a lot of people who are sort of scared to enter sim racing. There's a lot of people sort of scared to sort of put themselves in this community because it's really intimidating. There's a lot of sort of toxicity. There's a lot of sort of like a lot of toxic masculinity, and there's a lot of gatekeeping as well.
Mhm.
There's a lot of, and a lot of the time when I see when a lot of the time when I see there's a lot of like women like asking, like, I want to be sort of represented, or like I want to sort of, or put it women themselves out there. People sort of I'm really like passionate about this sort of point. There's a lot of times where people feel like that they're sort of the token minority. They sort of
Yeah.
single them out and sort of be like, "Oh, you think you're gonna get something because you're a woman in this, or you think you're gonna get something because like you're this and that, you're transgender, you're lesbian, you're gay, whatever." Like, and like No, like I want women to sort of belong in here, like, and sort of be treated like everybody else in the sim racing community. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day because everybody is going to be in the car, everybody's going to be behind the wheel. It's not like any other sport or any sort of like healthy hobby where you're actually putting your physical body. It is like that doesn't matter. What matters is
Yes.
that you're
Yeah.
driving a skill, and what matters is the car. And what matters is how well you race. And I really, really hope that this gets a lot more women just involved in this industry a lot, in this hobby that I really love and passionate about.
Nice. I mean, that was beautifully said, and I'm glad that you brought it up because I think it's very powerful. Because I was listening to this in your pre-interview, and I think it's very powerful. The statement you made and this idea that it's not about wanting special treatment; it's just about wanting to be seen, and not just be seen, but just be seen like everyone else and be treated as equal. And I think that like the work that you're doing with Queen's Design is getting there, and it's getting that. And so keep pushing on and keep making those strides because you guys are not just doing this for you, but you're doing it for those who are going to be coming behind you as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to get into this because I thought this was also interesting. So I'm going to ask this question. You may or may not expected this one, but who is Ruby? I heard that there's a lot of things that Ruby loves, and talk a little bit about like let people know who are you. What are some of the things that you're interested in?
Yeah, who is Ruby? Well, yeah, I am 24 years old, obviously from Los Angeles, California, and I think I am a lot of things. I really like soccer. My favorite soccer club is Leeds United. I feel like a lot of people will be laughing at me for that, especially with how they're doing recently. Uh,
Okay.
I really. I really like video games, obviously, in general. I play some fighting games. I play some RPGs.
Which
My favorite.
yeah, I was gonna ask you before I didn't want you to move on without mentioning what are some of your favorite games.
Yeah, my favorite games, obviously, there's Gran Turismo. I really like the Dead or Alive fighting game series. I really
Okay.
like playing those games, as well as Tekken and Melty Blood. I really like the Yakuza series. That's a
Okay.
series that I absolutely adore. And I'm trying to think of what else. I can go on, but I think those are the big ones. I think those are the really big ones.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. Anything else? I think I heard music lover.
Yeah, I really love jazz music, and I'm a huge shoegaze like listener. I listen to a ton of shoegaze bands, and especially Japanese shoegaze bands as well. My favorite band is Fort Tracy Hyde, but they've recently disbanded, so I'm really sad about that. But
Oh
I'm
wow.
really into shoegaze. I'm really into electronic music and jazz, all sorts of music. Really, it really motivates me to drive, and sometimes like it helps me drive faster in that
I was about
case.
to ask you. So, what is in your uh, I was going to say CD player, but that doesn't exist anymore. What is on the radio? Your digital MP3 radio as you're driving. What do you like to drive to?
Honestly, sometimes I drive to jazz,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, like not even just to sound smart or anything. It honestly, I just really enjoy it because there's sometimes it's really fast jazz as well, and obviously it's just shoegaze music as well. I don't know, like something about it, like just listening to your favorite music while you're driving just really puts you in a different element. Sometimes I don't drive with music because there's other times when I feel like there's a time and place for it, but like most of the time
Yeah.
I listen to music while I drive, and it really helps.
All right. And one other thing that I believe you are is an anime lover.
Yeah, I really love anime. I'm like I've recently just started watching anime again. I've watched recently. My favorite anime so far is Bocchi the Rock. Like that is
Okay.
something I love. Like that's such a good anime.
Nice, nice. Now, somebody I'm very surface on the anime. If anything, is more like the popular stuff. But what would you encourage someone who's trying to get into anime to check out?
I don't know. I'm not really prepared for that question. I don't really expect to ask anybody. I just sort of like, but if they're to watch an anime, oh my gosh. Uh, Oh my gosh, I don't really know. I guess Initial D, if they're
Okay,
really
all
like
right,
racing. I
all
mean,
right,
it's pretty obvious.
all right, cool. Initial D. I'll have to check that one out. All right, so let's talk a little more about not necessarily ACC, but if you want to stick to ACC, then fine with that as well. But I wanted to talk about like some of your favorite things. So, what is your favorite car to drive when it comes to sim racing?
Sim racing, my favorite car to drive. That's a hard question. There's a lot of cars I really like to drive. Um, some of it comes from a lot older sims. There's this older sim called GTR2. I really like driving the Maserati MC12 for that game and the Porsche Cup cars in that game. They're some of my favorite sim racing cars of all time. I really like driving LMP1 cars and LMP2 cars,
Okay.
especially in project cars too.
Yeah.
And my favorite car to drive in ACC, is sort of Corsa Competizione, is the BMW M4. That's a car I really excel at, and I feel like it's a car I've been driving forever since last year, and it's the car I have most experience in,
Okay.
and it's the car I have the most success in. So I mean, there's a lot of sentimental value in that as well.
Nice, nice. Now, what about tracks? Do you have a favorite track?
Oh my gosh, like my favorite track is Suzuka Circuit. That's my favorite track of all time. I feel like it's the track I do the best on. Obviously, Long Beach. I really like Long Beach. I'm biased because I'm literally like 15 minutes away from the
Yeah, yeah.
track, and I'm trying to think of what else. Uh, oh my gosh. I guess a favorite oval of mine would be the Five Flag Speedway. Honestly,
Okay. Now, where's that one? I'm not familiar. Do you know?
it's in Florida. It's a short track
Okay.
in Florida. It's on iRacing, and yeah, I've always done well on that track. It's one of my favorite oval racing tracks.
Nice. Cool. It's so interesting. Like, I love listening to what other people are into because then I'm like, okay, maybe I should go back and test out this car again. But a lot of the tracks I'm very familiar in terms of like when they say like this track or that track. So cool. Let me ask you this question: do you have a favorite? I call it a setup. Do you have a favorite wheel or wheelbase that you like? What is the thing that that you're driving with these days?
Yeah, I drive with a Thrustmaster T300 RS wheel that I've got in since like 2016, and my pedals are courtesy of Queen Design. Thank you so much for the support. They are Fanatec CSL pedals with a load cell brake.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, it
nice.
is. It is really nice, and my rig's actually a next level FGT. So there's that as well.
All right, so that means you are definitely looking forward to that next level sim rig if as a prize if you're able to
Yeah,
get it.
a big upgrade, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that next level racing.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, so we're about to wrap up here, but before we do so, one of the things that we sort of talk about, and I shared earlier, is that like this competition is not just about how fast you are, right? It's also about like building the engagement, and so I want to give you an opportunity to sort of share where can people, if they're interested in wanting to follow you or learn more about you, or support you in this endeavor, where can they find you?
Well, my Twitter handle is Michael Hart. The A is replaced with a 4 and the O is replaced with a 0. And on Instagram, I'm also Michael Hart just regularly. And you can follow Queen's Design on Twitter at Queen's Esport. And you
Okay.
can also follow them online at queensdesignracing.com. That is my team, and I really hope that a lot of people sort of like cheer on for us and also sort of sort of uh, sort of agree with what we're doing for the sim community.
Nice, nice. Well, Ruby, I just want to say thank you so much for just this amazing conversation and taking a moment out of your day just to speak to us. And before I go, there is one last question that I like to ask everyone, and that is this: what would you say to a young girl or young woman who wants to get into trying sim racing? What are some words of encouragement that you have for them?
Honestly, oh, that's a really tough question. That's really tough. Um, I just say have fun no matter how well you do. It's a journey, and most importantly, it's not only going to improve your driving, but it's also going to improve yourself, improve your sort of self worth, and it's going to help you sort of improve as well. Whereas like it'll sort of give you a really good like visual um example of how you progress, and I really hope that that little girl like sort of takes it in with as they carry on to life, where they remember how they improved in sim racing and they apply that how they improve themselves personally as well.
Yes.
So I think And I think the biggest thing, the encouragement, is to sort of just have fun, keep getting better, and really, yeah, just have fun.
Nice. Well, Ruby, it has been a pleasure. You are a wealth of wisdom, knowledge at such a young age, at which is pretty cool. But I love the drive that you have, in both on the circuit and off the circuit. And I wish you the best in this competition, and hopefully get to see you in Vegas. So. Thank you so much for taking out the time. For anyone who is interested and wanting to learn more about Screen to Speed, please make sure that you check out our webpage. That's www.screentospeed.com. And as always, we want to shout out our sponsors, Pennzoil, Ford, iRacing, Yahoo, Kelly Moss, and Esports, because they have laid the foundation for such an amazing event. Ruby, thank you so much for joining us again. And to everyone else, we will see you